Di mana itu?
Hello, I am back.
Tadi mantul dari sini, mantul dari sini.
Wow.
Kita streaming lagi.
Yeay.
Wow.
Kali ini gue ngapain sih ya streamnya? Intro gue harusnya sih oke lah.
Gaming banget.
Kita main ini sambil nunggu Leo update. Masih lama, Le.
Ah, 80%.
Ini Dap. Masukin situ, Dap. Satu.
Oh, satu dulu.
Wah.
Emang nggak tahu ini fisik gue
Masuk,
belum
masuk.
masuk ini. Kompres mulu.
2, 3.
Tiga.
Wih,
No.
gue double klik bisa dapat 14 butterfly sampai gue.
Sih.
Oh,
Gue
Ih.
lupa Kazuha. Orang Kazuha bukan Liu ya.
Stop lo, woi.
Wih, masuk, woi.
Woi, masuk gua.
Punya gua gak masuk sih.
Ye, gua masuk.
Ada kena bel, cowok. Ini punya gua nih. Ada
Punya
punya
lu
gua.
juga. Sekarang 15 gua ada.
Gua duluan tadi.
Ke atas itu udah.
Buset.
1, 2, 3.
Apaan?
Langsung dap. Dap. Mana. Yang kalah nentuin. Satu sama. Dan nentuin dia milih spot sendiri. Yang satu orang lagi harus di sebelah kanan atau kirinya ya.
Wah, susah nih, Bart.
Komputer
Dari
gua
sini ke sini, jangan.
Dari sini.
Jangan terlalu susah. Dari sini.
Yakin.
Wih, komputer gua kenapa sih?
Jangan. Kekecilan.
Restart modem Anda dit.
Lagi dap.
Iya nih, modem butuh gue restart nih, modem naik. Berulang lo, frame drop lo udah kayak apa ya? Buset di 100%.
Masuk kayak ini.
Masuk dap.
Ini ada YouTuber adik-adik,
Masuk dap.
ada yang punya rank YouTube.
Itu masuk.
Kapan deh punya rank YouTube?
Kurang tahu.
Wah, ini nih, Bart. Dari sini, Bart. Landingnya harus di sini, Bart, di atas meja. Jet. Oh, 2, 3.
Kaedehara Kazuha という者に会ったことはあるか。
Coba tuh.
お前と同
Bisa
じ
gua
よう
klik kiri.
片手剣を扱う。
Loh,
聞いたところ、カズお前には関係ない。
Lalu, Bart. Ya, disconnect, Bart.
まあいい。
Minecraft nge-lag ya?
お前も知らないようだな。
nggak bisa gua klik kiri sih molinya tadi.
Minecraft gue nge-lag anjay.
Aduh, first minute ini, we.
変な刀を振り回すし、わけわからないぞ。しかも謝罪
Kalau
の
gue
一つ
langsung
もないなん
0,1 KB
て。
gue.
あんなやつにカズハの情報を渡すもんか。
Ya. Kok pada keluar sih?
Dap.
Hah?
Oh.
Disiram.
For once.
おい、何言ってんだよ。おいらはいつだって気が利くだろ。
Streaming, Peter Gaming.
万が一に備えて
Ambek
今
dah.
すぐカズハに知らせてやろうぜ。気をつ
Ya,
け
lu
ろ。
udah di dalam ya? Di dalam server ya? Ya, gue perlu
Udah DC ini, DC lagi. Wah, first mate.
あいつがカズハと知り
Gila,
合いに
gila.
なって確かにそうか
Sekali
も
klik
しれない
kiri
けど。
99 moli.
でも技なんてみんな同じ感じだろ。それだけじゃ根拠が薄いと思うぞ。とりあえずカズハが危ない目に遭わないように早く教えてやろうぜ。最近南十字戦隊が
Wah,
離島で貨物を補充してるらしいぞ。カ ズハもきっと
Ah,
そこにい
ditangguh
るは
harus
ず
gue
だ。
restart.
First match.
Kenapa?
Ya.
Kan nanti mau makan tahunya aja bang. Masih ada kan? Iya.
Parah makan tahu aci.
Enak gitu dah.
Enak emang. Tahunya doang acinya kurang ya. Udah asin ya.
Wih, gila. Dap, gue nggak es, Dap.
Iya iyalah.
こんにちは。
なんだ、
Dapat.
お前たちもカズハを探しに来たのか。
Kill lu.
どうやらあいつは本当にすごいことをしたみたいだな。
Aduh.
今回俺たちが小舟でここに来たのは物資を補給するためだったんだが、港に入った途端稲妻人が大勢押し寄せてきてな。カズハのことを聞いてきたんだよ。以前の名槌の浜の戦いでは姉さんもあんなに活躍したってのに、これほど人気にはなってなかった。 戦隊の中でのカズハはこれといって存在感があるわけじゃない。たまに姉さんの言うことを聞かないことだってある。
Sok kenal banget.
姉さんは気にしちゃいないがな。
Duh.
Ya pompe dong langsung dong. Ah,
カズハが何をやってる
Sabar,
か知
lagi
ら
pengen
ないのか。
nge-esin dah, Pak.
少しは聞いてるぜ。
Kalau aja belum masuk.
例えば
oh iya belum.
ライデン
Of
将
course it has to
軍
be this
武
one.
装の人たちを受け止めたとかな。
Ah, ya.
それ
Kita
って
langsung
す
ke
ご
mid
いの
dah.
か。
Ini harus langsung ke mid dah.
Gua ini dulu apa?
それならわ
Udah
かりや
lama
すい
gak
ぜ。
nge-es gua.
だったらあんなに人気なのもうなずける。
Papak efisiensi
あい
satu
つはさっ
kan.
き天領奉行の人に呼ばれて行っちまったよ。
Jeding.
何か重要なことで相談があるらしい。最初はあいつを捕まえに来たんじゃないかとも思ったが、すごく友好的な態度でな。なんだかとても尊敬されているような感じだった。
少し前だったらまず考えられないな。
Udah banget.
ありがとな。
Kemudian nggak pakai akun Atandi
天
ya.
領奉行府に行ってみるぜ。
お
Males boostingnya
こ
lagi.
っちは引き続き話を聞きに来る人の対応でもしてるよ。
Gila,
Dekoko.
gua nge-esin dah, Pak mulu.
Bacot.
Deding. Deding, deding.
Cepet banget.
Deding, deding.
Wah.
Deding, deding. Deding.
世界は
Gila, dapat kok kena hit mulu deh. Gila.
Nggak tahu.
Ding 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 ding.
Batangan lagi banget.
Apa sih deh?
Deding, deding. Hmm.
Dan terden.
Alat spektrum.
Itu apa sih yang spektrum S6 ya?
Ah iya.
であったか。
Gila, dap gua udah jago lah.
Udah jago
Tadi
Ya,
kaget ada
Kimi
musuh.
ちょうど先ほどメガリレーの配信について話していたんだ。せっかくだから君も一緒に聞いていってほしい。
Iya ini gua gede.
今回楓原殿に来ていただいたのは
Skyward
幕府側の友好を示すのが主な目的でね。
Deding,
これだ
deding.
け情勢が明るくなったの
sama
も
nih Edward ya biasa
君
ya.
たちのおかげだ。
Deding, deding.
僕もこれを機に
Biasa banget lah
一
kalau
族
Edward
が
mah
犯した
sama
過ちを
Wally
正すこと
biasa
がで
ya.
きる。
Deding,
本当に感謝しているよ。
Kok kaori?
過去に積み重ねてきた矛盾や対立を正すために
Ganti ganti
様々な
ganti
方面
PP
か
ke
ら解
Kaori
決を図って
joget
い
dong.
る。三奉行の間では
Kalau joget apa sih?
楓原家の未来結果につなげようという提案が出たんだ。楓原家に関することは
Tahu ada apa?
君も少しは知っている。
Gue lupa kalau banget pokoknya cicak joget. Dah,
Nih, Bert.
Ayo,
Ini,
stop lah,
Pit. Pit, ini, Pit. Ini, Pit.
tetap Edward lama dong enggak? Males
Sabar.
ini.
Tuh, Pit, saya trumpet. Yang
Oh my
gitu, Pit.
God.
Itu Kaori joget.
Kaori joget.
Apa PFV Discord gua? Woi,
Ah, Discord tuh beda bodoh.
enggak, maksudnya apa ganti PFV di mana?
Ya kan server kan ada
Sabar,
gift
Bert.
ya.
Oh,
Guys.
Mana giftnya?
Sabar. Sabar.
Tuh kata dapat sabar tuh.
Kalau sabar disayang Tuhan.
Emang lu Tuhan?
簡単に説明すると、
Lah, siapa yang bilang gue
過去
Tuhan?
の稲妻には
Lu.
将軍様の刀鍛冶技術を受け継ぎ、
Main
その名を
kredibel
轟か
kan
せ
lu
た
jadi
御用刀工が複数いたんだ。
iya
楓原家はその中の一つだった。
Kok
し
ini
かしある
kagak
時
jadi giftnya sih?
一部の
Eh
刀工
jangan
が
kirim
裏
ke
切って
Discord.
スネージナヤへと
Jangan
逃亡
kirim
し
ke
た。
Discord.
Terima ke
楓原
Discord,
家と
jangan
神
dikirim
様家
ke
は
Discord.
管理不一致届の罪に問われ、激
Kalau
しい
udah
動乱に見
dipahamin,
舞われたの
terima
さ。
kasih.
でも
Ah,
後に
lucu bang.
この事件の背後にはファデューという黒幕がいたことが判明した。故に全ての責任を楓原と上里の両家に負わせるの
Lama
は
nih.
不適切であり不公平とされてね。
ding
そして
Deathmatch nggak sih? Udah,
楓原殿
deathmatch
は
udah.
またも大きな功績を挙げた。そのため
Kenapa udah
そ
nggak
の
mau
報奨だけではな
diwantek
く
lagi dah?
過去の行き過ぎた処置への保証もすべきだと将軍様は考えたんだ。でも
ding
東光一族がまたファデューから迫害を受けてしまう可能性もある。そのためこの件の調査結果は公表していない。
ding
それに関してはどうかご理解いただけると助かる。
いや、
bodo amat
こちらこそ
ding
将軍様と幕府からのご好意を受け取ることができるとは実に喜ばしいでござるよ。
Udah, bro,
し
udah.
かしただでそのご好意を受けるわけにはいかないのであろう。
Raja Sulaiman.
それは考えすぎだ。これは保証なんだから。名誉が元通りになれば楓原家は刀鍛冶業を再開することができる。君も放浪を続ける必要がなくなるだろう。
no gak bisa
将軍様の庇護と幕府の指示のもと稲妻城で安定かつ豊かな生活を送れるようになるんだ。
拙者は長きにわたって風雨の中を歩んできたゆえ、大きな屋敷に住むのは性分に合わぬ。しかし拙者の先祖たちは
jadi
楓原の名と彼らが受け継いだ刀鍛冶技術を誇りに思っていた。確かに拙者にもその先祖たちの名誉を正す責任がある。
その感じ
pakai
だ
apa
と
le
まだ少し躊躇しているようだね。ただ
ding
これに同意してくれれば近頃街で流
kayak
れ
nada
ている
fraktur
君の
wow
噂と中傷も消えると思う。
噂と中傷
Itu Jing pakai Reina buat
ず
reflektor.
ーっといい話ばっかでみん
no
なすごく褒めてたぞ。
一部の人にとって
ya
無双の人たちは
ding
無敵の存在なんだ。彼らは
ganti
楓
jadi
原
itu
殿
nggak sih
が
dap
あの人
chatroom
た
dap
ちを受け止めたことを認めたくないのさ。あの時
Kenapa?
楓原殿が風以外にも雷元素の力を使っているのを目撃した人がいた。そのせいで楓原和葉は邪眼を使ったという噂まで広まっている。
でも邪眼を使ったやつは
gak
す
main
ごい
jet
速さ
lu
で老化するはずだろ。
Cabut,
カ
mati
ズハ
kalah.
はそんな風になってないぞ。
ああ、でも彼らにとって一人が同時に2種類の元素力を使うことの方が理解できない出来事なのさ。
このような噂は他にも多々ある。こうして世論の中心に置かれ、他の者に追蓄され再起を抱かれるのは苦手でござる。だがもし幕府が拙者を支持してくれるのなら、この波風もすぐに止むやもしれぬ。
だから前向きに考えてほしい。互いにとっていいことだろう。
少し考えさせてほしい。この件に関する話し合いはひとまず置いておこう。それ
Oh,
で
tanda first night nge-lag.
二人はどうしてここへ来たのでござるか？
大事なことを忘れるところだった。
そのような危険人物が拙者を探していると。
wih asen
いないでござる。
Tur, Mas.
正直拙者も戸惑っている。拙者の武技は家の者から教
kok
わった
asen
もの
jadi
で、
gini sih
元は刀試しに
Kok
使わ
Asen
れ
jadi
てい
kayak
たも
gini
ので
ya?
あった。
Mas,
試し切りの
Asen
際、
kok jadi gini memang?
乱れなき
Bukan
太筋
Asen
を
yang
描
ini
き、
ya?
Wah,
それぞれの刀の品質
Asen
を
kan?
公平に検証するた
fraktur
めに
ini.
修練を重ねてきたのでござる。
Fraktur
そ
toh.
れがやがて一族の
Asen
指
atau
導術とな
fraktur?
り、
asen
そうする
gitu
技が生まれた。
Lu kenapa? Dap? Kok
これは
reflektor
実
sih?
用的な戦場武器とは至極異なるもの。
Halo, sehat?
偶然とは到底
Asen
思えない。
dah.
だったら気をつけた方がいいと思うぞ。なんか変なやつだったし。
ふむ。かように攻撃的な者が他者に手を出せば、 よからぬ結果を招きやすい。
Kok
だったら
malah asen sih?
すぐに
malah
人を手配し
transfer.
て調査しよ
よろしく頼む。
Ini nih Asen.
拙者もこの件には興味がある。それに
Jadi asen
先
atau
ほどのお
transfer?
主の提案を考える時間も必要でござる。拙者はまず
Gasing, gasing, gasing.
彼女らと襲撃者の件を調査し、その後お主に明確な答えを出そう。
う。わかった。
Gas.
くれぐれも安全には
Wah,
気をつけてくれ。
berhenti itu.
Atas, woi,
では
atas,
参ろ
atas.
う。
Atas.
その襲撃者を探すでござるよ。
Rata,
Ding.
tolong.
城内の情報なら
Satu.
探偵所が何か知ってるはずだよな。リュウジに聞いてみようぜ。
Lainnya.
Jelas deh.
Wallnya juga, wow.
Wah.
Iya dong, Bang. Udah lama kalian, Bang. Yang punya jarang main. Kan sekarang udah nggak bisa dijual.
Wah, dipantatin.
Oh wait, I wanna hear this.
Gue dapet Spectre tuh, udah. Nih, lu pak.
Wah, oke.
Gue lo.
Wind Strider.
Cool. Wow.
Yeah.
Hey there, we'd like to ask you a quick question. Do you know if anyone around here has been looking for him? For Kaedehara Kazuha, we mean.
Aha! So this is the renowned Mr. Kaedehara. I've heard a lot about you. It is an honor to finally meet you today.
You are too kind. We are currently investigating an assault and would appreciate any help you can offer.
Oh? You were targeted in an assault? Let me think. I can't seem to recall anything of immediate interest. Mr. Kaedehara is currently the talk of the town, so there are always a lot of people looking for him. To be honest with you, our detective agency has recently been receiving many inquiries from people wishing to obtain Mr. Kaedehara's personal information. Some of them were offering us millions of mora just to gather the information they want. If these were more legitimate commissions, Sango would have snapped them up in an instant.
Millions of mora? Whoa! Oh, wait, even at that price, you probably still shouldn't.
Please, accept my thanks for looking out for my privacy.
Di atas dong, cek dong.
Of course.
Aduh,
No matter
gitu
what, we
terus
only take on
lagi.
legitimate cases. We don't make our money by revealing details of other people's day-to-day life just for the sake of it. Sorry, I got a little off topic. What I'm really trying to say is, it doesn't surprise me that a complete stranger is looking for Mr. Kaedehara. But I wouldn't know where to begin if we want to connect this with an assault.
Gila, gua nggak mau ngapain nih, nges-
Then let's put that connection aside for now. Have there been any other attacks or similar incidents recently that stand out as particularly unusual? The Tenryou Commission had very few leads. I thought you might have some information from different sources.
It's true that the commissioners aren't clued up about every little thing that goes on out in the streets. But typically, it's only the most trivial events that manage to escape their attention. If anyone had been out there attacking people, that would be assault, in which case the Tenryou Commission would absolutely get involved.
Langsung deh, Jason.
Oh, that does make sense. Uh-oh. Looks like the trail's already
Gua
run
mau ngambil
cold.
OP malah sambil
I
kata
still
gua.
find it difficult to believe that whoever attacked you hasn't been causing any trouble elsewhere. Few people possess your prowess in battle. So unless you were the first person he targeted, someone is certain to have been hurt by now.
Oh my god.
Jago banget tuh, Dap. Gila, Dap.
Bujet, baru nge-kill sekali. Mau nggak, Le? Regek.
Ah, reggae. Hah? Reggae? Apa reggae?
Regek.
Reggae. Nih, gaya merah body gold dap. Ini. Nih ada es tuh. Loh.
I am well aware of your
Wih,
talents.
body emo ya.
There is no
Yeah,
need to
body-
be humble around me.
Gaya
In fact,
merah tuh
I'm
kalau
quite
body emo bagus
relieved
juga
that
kali
you were the
Atau
one he
gaya putih.
targeted. It would cause me great grief to see someone become critically injured or lose their life because of me. For the poor victim,
Iya sih,
this
kalau
would be a
putih sih.
completely
Kalau
senseless
merah,
Radian
crime.
lebih kayak ke
Don't worry,
skin yang warna
we'll
kuning
find
nggak
him.
sih?
Iya sih.
It seems you are every bit the selfless hero they make you out to be, Mr. Kaedehara.
Deploying, bangsat.
Surely this same concern for your fellow man is what drove you to fearlessly raise your blade against the almighty shogun.
You flatter me.
Wah, cok, gue dimakan, cok.
Truth be
Oh,
told,
ambil ople, ulti set pak.
I don't know quite what came over me in that
Kalau
moment.
lama masuknya.
You are much too humble.
Ah, udah masuk ya.
Don't worry, I completely understand your concerns. I will try my best to gather whatever leads I can
Gaming
for you.
banget wale, gaming
Oh.
banget.
Actually, there was
saginya
one
lu lihat, Dan.
strange incident over the last few days. It
Gaming
doesn't
banget,
involve an
wale.
attack, though.
Di bawah.
Let me tell you about it just in case.
Sure.
Nice
During
one.
times like this, the more information we have, the better.
All right then. Recently, two people went missing from the city at around the same
Ada yang
time.
atas nih, report
One
aja
of them
nih.
is a pretty
Wow.
well-known collector, surnamed Nagato.
Nice one.
The other, Amenoma Yuya, is a samurai from the Amenoma clan.
Beng.
Amanoma.
Oh, kok
Now
mabek
there's
lagi
a familiar
dia, ya?
name.
I don't think
Right.
I have seen
Yuya is the nephew of Amenoma Togo, the owner of Amenoma Smith.
Bro.
Two grown men going missing at the same
Suruh
time.
upgrade.
Their cases are likely
Bukan
connected,
Naruto.
but I don't know much in the way of details. I recalled this because Amenoma Yuya is also an accomplished martial artist who is skilled with the blade. Perhaps he is the one you are looking for.
Understood, though it seems highly unlikely to me. I neither know this man, nor do I have any idea why he may wish to attack me.
Kayaknya mah.
Mati lagi.
Oh, ada apa lagi?
Sure, can't
Gue mati
hurt.
lampu tadi.
We never know what we might find out along the way.
Thread dong mati.
Thank you, Ryuji. We'll start by making some inquiries at the Amenoma smithy.
Sounds good. All the best with your investigation. I'll get moving shortly myself.
Tete.
Lah, diul.
Mau golden nggak? Golden sih ini. Udah di wall. Bentar.
Sabar, gue ke ini.
Ah,
Oh, gue kira
if it
mau
isn't
tuh.
Kaedehara.
You two know each other?
Yes, the Kaedehara and Amenoma clans were both members of the Raiden Gokaden. Historically, there have always been deep links between the two clans. After I returned to Inazuma, I visited Mr. Amenoma to pay my respects. Let me quickly explain. The Raiden Gokaden was the collective term for the 5 most acclaimed bladesmithing arts in Inazuma. The techniques of blade making were personally bequeathed to the Raiden Gokaden by the almighty shogun, and over time, further honed and enhanced by the most talented craftsmen. Unfortunately, a series of events led to the gradual decline of many clans in the bladesmithing trade.
SOL.
Today,
SOL.
only the Amenoma clan has kept its art alive.
Oh juga.
So sad.
Oh, lu lagi make. Yang pertama.
It is a great pity indeed. In the old days, we each had our
Iya, tuh
specialties.
GLSD ya.
And just as iron sharpens iron, so too did we learn much from each other. As an example, the Amenoma art strives to emulate the abiding patience and determination of water as it turns stone to sand. There is nothing mystical to our work. There is only practice, day in and day out, until both body and mind have memorized the craft, turning each motion of every technique into an intrinsic part of the bladesmith's life.
Lalu GG.
As for the art of the Kaedehara clan, I believe it's called the Ishin
Atau gua aja yang
art.
beliin ya. Iya,
That's
harusnya
right.
gua aja dah.
Ishin
Jadi kesel
art
dah.
strives
Iya,
for
ada duit
complete
gitu ya.
harmony between blade and mind from the moment
Tapi
that
kalau
forging
dornya ada yang
begins.
ngeliatin menang itu.
For only a
Udah
blade
jam
thus
September
forged
tadi.
can capture and convey its maker's thoughts and feelings, and eventually become an extension of its wielder's will.
Indeed. Most samurai choose their blades, but an Ishin blade chooses its owner. You are, without a doubt, the most worthy wielder of an Ishin blade. It gladdens my heart to see that although the Kaedehara clan has fallen on hard times, its ideals and virtues are alive and well.
You overestimate me. My actions are guided by my own personal sentiments, not by any noble aspirations on behalf of my clan. But let's get back on topic. The purpose of our visit today is to gather some information on your missing nephew. We hope to assist with the investigation. It may turn out that this case is connected to another we are pursuing.
Ah, yes. My nephew. I reported the case to the Tenryou Commission, but I haven't heard anything back so far. He didn't say a word before he left, which is very unlike him. I'm still completely at a loss on what to make of it, but I've done what I can so far. Worrying is futile. All I can do now is wait for the news from the Tenryou Commission.
We heard that there was a collector involved in the disappearance too. Know anything about that?
Yes. On the morning that Yuya went missing, he gave me a very cryptic look and said that he was going to give me a great gift. I believe he went to collect the item from Mr. Nagato after that. The next thing I heard was that a fire had broken out at the warehouse, and neither of them came back. Yes. Strange, isn't it? I wonder what could have caused it. Unfortunately, there was very little evidence left behind, so nobody knows what really happened.
Do you have any thoughts on what Yuya may have wanted to give you?
If I had to guess, it must have been some kind of rare weapon. Otherwise, there would have been no reason for him to get my hopes up. He's never been particularly interested in blade forging, but has always had a fondness for blade testing, and can sense even the most minute differences in blade quality. He is extraordinarily talented in martial arts, particularly when it comes to the art of the sword.
Truth be told, we have some information that you may find to be objectionable. The person we are looking for, he attacked this friend of mine. Based on the evidence we have gathered so far, only Yuya seems to match the suspect's profile.
What? No. Absolutely impossible. Yuya is not that kind of person. He is humble and kind. Even his training is done with the goal of calming his mind. He has never gotten into a fight before.
Huh. Is that so?
Yes. If there's one thing I can say for certain, it's that Yuya would never draw his blade without a very good reason. But, with that said, it's equally out of character for him to just disappear with neither farewell nor fair warning. I also cannot know what course of action he might be capable of if coerced or otherwise compelled by circumstances unbeknownst to me. Anyway, should you find him, please let me know as soon as possible.
Don't worry. You have our word.
From the sound of that, Hyman doesn't think Yuya was the one who attacked us as well.
Yes. It sounds as if something happened when the two men met each other. Let's pay a visit to the Nagato household. One with nature. Follow the wind.
I'm very sorry, but we cannot afford to pay what we owe right now. My husband has gone missing, and I'm still trying to find him.
No, you misunderstand us. We are here to help with the investigation. We'd like to ask you some questions about Mr. Nagato's disappearance, if we may.
Ah,
Kan dia
I see.
taktis unik.
I thought the debt collectors had come to visit again. I'm sorry you have to see me in this dreadful state.
Tukeran aja deh.
Has some new information come out? Do you know where he's gone?
Apaan diganti ini dia taksis
I'm
unik.
afraid we don't have any new information at the moment. We're still trying to find out as much as we can to inform our search. With this in mind, can we perhaps ask some questions about your family's current situation?
Mau gua liatin dah.
For example, Paimon's struggling to understand why a collector would be strapped for Mora.
That's a long story. Ever since I've known him, he's been an avid collector of all sorts of things. He'd always get so animated when he was showing them to me. I knew nothing about the items myself, but seeing how enthusiastic and excited they made him, I was happy to believe that they were just extremely important to him. Everything was fine when we first got married, but as time went by, things changed for the worse.
Uh-oh, what happened?
He lost his sense of restraint.
Senyum loh, what the f-
He started buying more and more things, and even resorted to borrowing money just so he could pay for them. Our expenses really
Why are you
spiraled out of
smiling,
control
Paimon?
when he started getting
You're not
interested in
supposed to
weapons.
smile right now.
Gua takut
It was
saya
awful.
ada.
There were days when he'd spend hours down at the warehouse admiring his weapons even as debt collectors were descending upon our house.
Ada dap.
He wouldn't sell them, wouldn't even touch them. Just sat there staring at them like he was in a trance. I'm happy he has a hobby and I'm willing to support him, but making ends meet has to come first. I've tried talking to him about it so many times, but he never listens. On the last day that I saw him, I gave him an ultimatum. I said, if he refused to sell his collectibles and pay off his debts, I would divorce him and take the children with
Ada
me.
brawler keluar tadi.
Whoa!
And that led to an argument.
Actually, it didn't.
Brawlernya masih
Generally,
di counter.
he's a quiet man who likes to go with the flow. On most things, he leaves the decision-making to me. You must understand, I never would have dreamed of threatening him with divorce if the debts hadn't pushed our family to the brink. After I said those words, he froze and was silent for a long time. When he finally spoke, he awkwardly mumbled that he would pick out a few items to sell. His voice was so meek and pitiful that I felt an urge to take everything back. But then what? If I didn't draw the line, what would happen to our family?
Kayaknya mau maju nggak nih Gus Mak?
Dia udah megang flash deh.
Had I not indulged his bad habits, we wouldn't have found ourselves in such a predicament. And I also don't know if he had actually come to his senses, or if he was simply angry with me.
3 orang mati.
The next thing I heard was that our warehouse had caught fire, and both he and the buyer had gone missing.
I see.
Iya,
I
sagenya.
understand. Amin Omeyuya came to purchase a weapon from Mr. Nagato. During the sale, a fire broke out at the warehouse, and both men disappeared.
At first, I assumed they must have gotten into an argument over the price. But my husband has never been one to negotiate. He never even haggles when he's out buying groceries, so it's hard to imagine him getting into a fierce argument.
Maybe he was feeling the pressure from the debts?
I don't know. He just disappeared after the warehouse burned down. Perhaps he's too afraid to come home now that all his collectibles have been lost in the fire, and he's got no way to pay off our debts. Even though I'm still a little mad at him, we're a family, and I want us to face our family's crisis together. As long as he's willing to turn over a new leaf, I know we can work things out.
Please don't get upset. There could be more to this situation than meets the eye. If collecting things is a habit that Mr. Nagato had his whole life, it is quite unusual for this habit to change so drastically over a short period. But the information we gathered from the other side suggests Amenoma Yuya is also a mild-mannered man who would not be likely to start an argument.
Diem tengah jalan dia.
Tanam balet.
This situation is getting a little confusing.
A
Kenyataannya
little confusing.
dua balet.
More like completely mystifying.
Jahat.
Let's try a change of scenery and see if we can piece together what we've learned. Rest assured, we'll notify you if we find anything.
Thank you so much. I just want him to come home.
Wih deh. Iya.
Ente. Itu pasti kaget dia. Kok mati itu dap yang di tower.
Based on the information we've gathered so far, I can only surmise that the sales meeting between the two men was somehow the catalyst for their disappearance.
Hacking.
The fire at the warehouse likely played a part in how the situation unfolded, though its exact role is a mystery. Do you have any thoughts?
Your arm, dude, go inside.
Well, Paina was thinking that maybe someone accidentally knocked over an oil lamp and... Nope, never mind. Paimon's brain needs to rest for a while. Over to you.
Right, I very much agree with you. It seems highly likely that we're missing a piece of the puzzle. Working off what we know so far, there are too many things that don't add up. The chances are that there are still some clues left for us to discover. One fact that I keep coming back to is that Amenoma Yuya is polite and well-mannered, while Mr. Nagato is introverted and passive. Neither seems like the type of person who is inclined towards initiating conflict. Mr. Nagato, being heavily in debt, is also the only one of them with the potential motive to disappear after the fire. The more I ponder it, the more puzzling it becomes. Just what could have happened there? Right. Although the time frame seems to broadly match, no other details that we've learned seem to link the two events together. Amenoma Yuya lacks a key distinguishing feature of the attacker, namely that he is principally a practitioner of the blade testing techniques of Amenoma art, not those of the combat-oriented Ishin art.
Darn! We thought we could get two birds with one stone here, but at this rate, it's starting to look like a wild goose chase.
Let's keep going, since we've come this far. If we can solve the case, both Mr. Amenoma and Mrs. Nagato will be able to get some closure.
Okay, but where should we go now?
Let's head out of the city and check out the warehouse. There's still a chance we may be able to find some shreds of evidence.
Ada tadi pokoknya 1-2 gitu ada. Buka kantin ya.
Wait.
Rame banget, udah masuk semua ya.
I hear something ominous in the wind.
This must be another one of those sounds that only you can hear. As sketchy as that whole thing seems, you did put it to good use when we were chasing down that vision thief at Beto's tournament, so...
Now I'm picking up a strong scent in addition to the sound. It's right around here somewhere.
There's nothing here.
It's gone now, but I can still sense the direction it left in. It felt very much like that ancient presence in Inazuma, the remnants of the Tatarigami. Indeed. But this unexpected spring of inauspicious energy may prove to be of benefit to our investigation. We should remain vigilant and approach slowly.
Slowly.
So it's an underground warehouse.
The force is definitely coming from down below. The source of the Tatarigami energy has long since left this place,
flat gini.
But the residue it left behind still hasn't dissipated
Tunggu lagi
completely.
tunggu masuk nanti gue
Judging from the concentration,
Tinggal keles
I
udah
would
masuk
have to
ternyata.
conclude that the Tatarigami source resided here for a very long time.
Mrs. Nagato said her husband used to hang around the warehouse by himself a lot.
It could well be that he was already under the influence of Tatarigami
Sepertinya
energy
headset
at
baru
that
tidak
time.
membuat Anda lebih jago sih, Arif.
From what I've been told,
pas banget tadi
Tatarigami
ditembak.
does
Gue
not
mau
turn
turun.
all upon whom it preys into violent monsters, but most will develop a stubborn streak upon being exposed to the Tatarigami's unfulfilled will. Their interests become fanatical obsessions. Mr. Nagato had an interest in collecting to begin with. The influence of Tatarigami could explain why he became an obsessive hoarder, amassing more and more possessions, even as he put himself in grave debt.
Ayo mati bersama.
So what should we do now? Go down and take a look?
Mati bersama tuh.
Step back. I'll open the door and take a look inside. If we don't open this door, we can move no closer to the truth. You needn't worry. Both of us have faced far greater dangers than this. Relatively speaking, the risk here is trivial.
Chat Windows.
Oh,
Harusnya ke B sekarang. RD.
jay, dapat ini gue RDX ya.
What's down there?
Everything's
Oh, iya,
buried
ini
in
ada
debris.
Tinggikan main.
I can't see anything. It looks like the fire caused a cave-in, reducing the entire warehouse to rubble.
Alah, 102.
Buta Rena bisa nembak
That was
gue.
too scary. Paimon was so sure that the warehouse boogeyman was about to jump out at us.
All we can do now is keep searching in the direction that the Tatarigami energy source left this place. Two ordinary humans, entangled with the Tatarigami. I fear much misfortune has already befallen them.
Kayak apa always.
Yes, let's go. If nothing else, it's vital that we find out where this Tatarigami energy is coming from. Quiet your mind and focus on what you sense around you. Perhaps you too will perceive its ominous presence in the wind.
Jadi al. Set semua. Dua.
Time to go. From this point, the trail appears to split into two. The main source of the Tatarigami energy continued on into the distance, but a small portion remained here and seems to be dissipating slowly.
Itu pala tinggal di tap nge-freeze bentar
Quite possibly. Let's search the area.
Whoa! Look at all those night churls. They're acting really strangely.
Something seems to be drawing their attention. Let's take a closer look. Into the wind!
Lightning flash!
Look at that.
Time to go. Falling leaves, adorn my night! God,
Take
Voice
that!
line. So freaking cool.
run with nature!
Itu satu HP pada.
Freaking
Rena apa
voice
tuh?
line. So cool. What the heck?
Main Rena full.
Look at this red stuff. What is it?
By the looks of it, a letter written on a piece of torn clothing.
Mau bimen
The
nama arket
ink is bone dry. It must have been written quite some time ago. Well, let's take a look.
Aduh. Mati dong.
Dai wisap tiele. Gila dap, dai style dia dap. Pesa gitu dap.
According to this letter, a conflict arose because Ame no Yuya wanted to seize a blade belonging to Mr. Nagato. Yuya started the fire that destroyed the warehouse and wounded Mr. Nagato in the fight. Mr. Nagato kept chase as long as he could, eventually stopping here to write this letter when his strength gave out.
So, where is he?
He was not only mortally wounded, but also under the heavy influence of Tatarigami. Add to that the fact that its aura seems to have attracted a horde of monsters, and I'm afraid he may no longer be with us. Whatever traces there may have been of his fate beyond after this point, they've since been disturbed by the hilly churls. There's nothing more for us to find here. Yes, right now we need to uncover some more important truths. If Ame no Yuya is attacking other people indiscriminately, then the longer we take to find him, the more people risk meeting the same tragic end.
Right, so let's get moving.
I wouldn't be surprised if he too fell prey to the influence of the Tatarigami. For a practitioner of the martial arts, the easiest desire to inflame would be their pursuit of further power and skill. All the clues that at first seemed disparate and disconnected, it seems that now we know the thread that runs between them. I have a hypothesis that, if it's correct, not only explains the series of events leading to the two men's disappearance, but also zeroes in on the attacker's identity.
Wait, you figured it out? So these two cases are connected after all?
I believe so. But it's something of an outlandish idea. I will only be able to confirm my suspicions once we've met him in person. On with the search. We must stay vigilant. At any point now, we may find ourselves in danger.
Brimstone gak mungkin kabur itu, gue spray di blast terus di ulti dap.
Udah di
Pantas kok mati.
60 dah sama gue aftershock gue dah dia dah.
He seems to have stayed here for a long time.
Dia gak bisa lari deh.
Why here? Is there anything special
Udah
about
itu di pack lagi yang main putih udah
I'm
nggak
not
kelari dia.
sure,
Udah kena aftershock.
but on closer examination, I sense that the aura may have lingered here at several different points in time.
Show yourself! It's no use hiding anymore.
Kaedehara Kazuha.
Belum.
It's you, at last.
Aha! So it is the same guy from before. What's your problem, huh? What could you possibly have against Kazuha?
Indeed, there should be no enmity between
Mereka
us,
smoke-nya telat sih.
if it is
Harusnya
Ame no
mereka
Yuya
waktu
that
dulu,
stands before us. But what if instead of facing Ame no Yuya, we are in fact facing the blade in his hand?
Now that you mention it, it is giving off a strange light. Whoa, whoa! Surely you don't mean... Are you serious?
Tatarigami energy often lodges itself within physical objects, then works to subtly affect any living organisms in its vicinity. The blade has resided in Mr. Nagato's warehouse for many years, affecting his state of mind, and more recently using the sale as a means to affect, or rather as a means to occupy, Ame no Yuya's body.
You're sharper than I thought. You've already deduced the truth of the matter. Many, many years ago, I was forged by a famed bladesmith of the Ishin tradition. I was his pride and joy. In me, he placed all his hopes and dreams. As a descendant of the Kaedehara clan, you should be able to guess our greatest regret.
I presume it has something to do with the Raiden Gokaden.
Indeed. At that point in time, he failed to live up to the Raiden Shogun's expectations. In the end, all he could do was to flee the nation by sea on a ship bound for Snezhnaya. He was a bladesmith of great renown, a master of his craft. There was nothing that he could not accomplish. All he needed was more time and a little faith. And sure enough, in the end, he achieved what he had set out to do. All of his life's work, his wisdom, his skill, it culminated in his creation of me. He not only bestowed upon me the greatest of strength, but also endowed me with a consciousness of my own. In her conceit, the Raiden Shogun lost not only the single most perfect blade in the entire world, but also an irreplaceable achievement in the art of blade forging.
So, swords can become conscious and control people?
The people of the time in which I was born never believed I had that kind of power. They saw me as a mere blade, a sharp and well-crafted one, but in all other respects an ordinary weapon. But that gave me the opportunity to take action. After the death of my creator, I decided to leave Snezhnaya and began my long quest to return to the distant land of Inazuma. Moving from one person to the next, I controlled the minds of countless hosts along the way, each bringing me one step closer to my ancestral home. I seek but one thing: to face the full force of the Raiden Shogun's blade and prove my power, the might of Ishin art.
So Amenoma Yuya was not your first victim. Tell me, what happens to those you've possessed when you've finished using them?
My hosts? Who cares what happens to them? They are but tools that serve my mission. When they got tired or injured or unusable, I hopped to the next one in line. All I needed them for was to take me back to Inazuma.
You're awful!
After I returned to Inazuma, I decided to bide my time in Nagato's warehouse until Amenoma Yuya handed himself over to me on a silver platter. At long last, I'm approaching my journey's destination. By Amenoma Yuya's body, I have found you, and by your hand, I shall defeat the Raiden Shogun. Kaedehara Kazuha, you stood against the Raiden Shogun's Muso no Hitotachi. There can be no other to serve as my host for what is to come. Now, give your body over to me!
Ah, yes. Oh wait, this is a...
The wind knows me.
Submit to me!
Teamwork is strength! Developing thunder! Rain outlines your
Join
fate.
me and sever that divine light! Shall rewrite history! Submit to me!
One with nature.
Take this!
Gue pegang gaya, itu pegang frame, dapat pegang Oni udah.
C3.
Pantesan.
Pantesan gini banget. C3 loh. Tapi kenapa Nobles?
Kalimantan udah ada semua. Silver ada Oni.
Into the wind.
Witness the power of Gua! Know my sword! Lightning flash! Let's light it up!
To me!
Time to go. Clouds high. The birds call.
Rewrite history!
Wind strike.
Join me and sever that divine light!
Mana di atas ya?
Do not stand in my way, or I will strike you down too!
Your bluff's fooling no one! You've lost!
Lost? I can never lose. It is this body that has reached its limit, nothing more. Even if you defeat me here, the one who falls will not be me, but this man. He is but a puppet that can be replaced. I can take the end result is the same. I will end this wretch's life before you can lift a finger. And even if I were to lose my physical form, it is but a small setback. My consciousness shall endure. By any means necessary, and any medium available, I shall return and fulfill my destiny!
Your fighting style. It is indeed the forms of Ishin art. But from your movements, I sense only hatred and arrogance, as well as a thinly veiled mania and despair.
Really? You can tell all that just from his moves?
As I've mentioned before, the forms of Ishin art convey the user's thoughts and feelings. Since the blade is currently possessing Aminome Yuya's body, its movements express the innermost thoughts of the blade. If you ask me, the mania is probably due to your desperate, single-minded ambition. You believe I am your only hope.
Are you trying to claim that I am helpless without you? On his deathbed, he passed to me all of Ishin art's secrets. The little that you know barely scratches the surface. In that regard, why would I ever need your help?
Because all of that is in the past. I've been wondering why you've not caused more trouble in all the years that you've been in Inazuma. If you are indeed a cursed blade that can possess its owner. Now that I've seen inside your mind, everything finally makes sense. You weren't biding your time. You were trapped. After all the time that's passed, you have grown weak. To the point that you are now unable to acquire a new host without making physical contact.
Oh, that's right. Paimon remembers now. Mr. Nagato had a habit of never touching his collectibles.
Only when Mr. Nagato witnessed his wife's distress and decided to sell his collectibles did you finally have an opportunity to reach out to Aminome Yuya and make your escape.
And what of it?
Well, that brings me to my second point. There's a despair in you that is so strong it threatens to overwhelm you. You were determined to fulfill your maker's ambition, whatever the cost. But this ambition is too grand and too heavy for you to bear. Each step you have taken has come at a great cost. I think you realized your limitations long ago. The more you clenched your teeth and pressed forward, the greater your fear of losing everything you had achieved grew, and the more you wished to run from the truth. But the way I see it, what began as an ambition has long since become a delusional fantasy.
What would you know about any of this? I'm just one step away from achieving my goal.
You returned to Inazuma to prove the unparalleled brilliance of Ishin art. But to make this arduous journey, you committed countless atrocities and showed a blatant disregard for human life. Even if you were to sever that divine light, is this truly the outcome that your maker would have desired? Sure, you inherited the secrets of Ishin art. But even as you made your journey to honor this legacy, you treated the ones who wielded you as mere tools to do your bidding. How could you possibly unleash the full potential of Ishin art when you act in perfect discordance with the principle of harmony between a blade and its bearer?
Silence, you blabbering fool! I must achieve my goal. This was his life's dream, and the very purpose for which I was brought into being. I will concede that you are most perceptive. You see my predicament clearly. But you also underestimate my resolve.
And you should face reality.
Easy for you to say. Facing reality offers me nothing. I have no need of anything that would stand in my way. Not hesitation, not self-reflection, and certainly not your so-called reality. It is pointless to argue further, descendant of the Kaedehara clan. If you wish to save this man, then offer me your body in exchange.
How stubbornly you stick to your wayward path. I do not believe for a second that you can challenge the almighty shogun in your current state. So let us make a bet, and I will put your strength to the test.
Surely you're not planning to agree to his demands.
Very well. Then find yourself some enemies with whom you wish to cross blades. A taste of my power will more than convince you. Once we have dealt with them, we shall proceed to Tenshukaku.
And as for your end of the bargain, if you lose, you must release Amenoma Yuya from your control.
I accept.
Don't do this, Kazuha!
This is the only way to save Amenoma Yuya. If we don't do this, he'll forever be the Blade's puppet. The Cursed Blade's strength is currently very weak, and I sense he's hesitating. This suggests his heart is still not completely devoid of honor. The power of the Tatarigami lies in intensifying existing obsessions. This is the reason Mr. Nagato and Amenoma Yuya fell prey to it. Since I don't have any similar kinds of obsessions, I should be able to put up some resistance for a while. Even if things take a turn for the worse, I still have you both here with me. We have a chance here to save an innocent victim. I am willing to accept the risks entailed.
Your disdain for me betrays your woeful ignorance. I agreed to this bet because there are things I wish to learn too. Now, take me in your hand.
Bentar lagi platinum tuh.
Belum, masih lama.
I'm okay.
Diingetin gitu.
I felt a little dizzy at first, but only for a moment. It's all right. So far, this was as I expected. I will. Thank you.
What should we do next? Have you got a plan, Kazuha?
We find some enemies. Although this blade has endured much turmoil, it probably hasn't experienced many real fights. If a blade built for Ishin art cannot enter a state of harmony between blade and bearer, it cannot unleash its true power. If he wants to avoid reality, then we need to fight until he has no choice but to face it. He shouldn't last long in an intense combat situation.
Wait a minute! Paimon remembers hearing about something from the Adventurers Guild. Since the Takasukasa clan abandoned that secret base, it's been held by Ronin ever since.
Ah, all right. Please lead the way.
What about Amenoma Yuya? What should we do with him?
The blade says he'll let Amenoma Yuya trail us silently. Although he hasn't regained his own consciousness yet, he is not in any immediate danger.
Are we sure this is a good idea? It's a pretty treacherous journey. Okay, fine. Just be careful.
Kalau balik-balik platinum.
Kita tadi cok double rank up gitu kan.
Double rank upin ke gold 3.
Iya, kan dapatnya sih ya kalau dapat mah ya dapat.
Harusnya lu sekarang minimal gold 1 gold 3 gold 3-0.
Tahu ya kalau dapat mah bingung juga gua.
Kalau nggak mau rugi, kata ini kan ini nggak mungkin rugi, ini gila banget. Double rank up dari berapa? Silver 3, gold 2. Lumayan lah tadi. Tadi bapuk kayak mainnya tapi ente.
Kurun party level is lower. Oke lah.
Parah ya, yang di double rank up mainnya cacat.
Gak main-main.
Solo, Kazuha solo.
Leave everything on this journey to me.
Oh. Wow.
Kayaknya kita rank 4-an udah
cool.
mulai gak jauh-jauh banget sih kan.
That's kind of
Rank
cool. I
kalian
guess.
3-an sih.
Baik.
Gue paling dekat sama lu.
Oh yeah, it's still on the same.
Let's get down to business, Nosy. There's more!
One with nature.
Finally, let's get down to business.
Falling leaves.
Adorn my night!
The wind knows me. Finally,
How are you feeling?
ML
You okay?
meningkat banget tuh,
I'm
kayak di
alright.
klip-klip jar soalnya.
The blade is performing largely as I expected. Having gone so long without proper use and maintenance, it's become very difficult to use. Though he's making every effort to persevere, I do not think he can last much longer.
Maju dia tap pala semua kena
Something
mati
else
semua
on
dia.
your mind?
How strange. Rather than trying to control me,
Kalau Omen one way
he's instead trying to match my fighting
kalau
rhythm.
misalnya udah selesai.
Let's keep going.
Brimstone one way juga.
Stop lagi.
Mana?
That's a chest.
Kalau Omen misalnya nggak dapat smoke lagi one way CT.
One way Brimstone dah.
Time to go.
It's my lucky day.
Into the wind.
One way apa kelihatan kayak Astra.
Iya dah.
Brimstone
Cooldown reduction-nya enak banget sih dari C2.
Let's get down to business.
Kopi. Dan aku Kazuha.
Aku pengen ini ya, Cok.
As one with wind and cloud.
The wind knows me.
Beneran T1 Kazuha.
Enggak. Ini di trialnya dia pakai C3. Enggak, cuman ini cooldown reduction-nya enak banget dari C1-nya atau C berapanya itu.
Gue tambah C2 berapa, Bet?
Hah?
C4.
Kalau dapat
Dapat apa?
I can sense that his strength is slowly fading away. The blade is becoming more and more difficult for me to wield.
Mana ya?
He cannot hold out much longer. If he keeps persisting, he will likely break apart at any moment.
Wait, what would that do to Amanome Yuya?
Terus akunnya balik.
I will be careful with it.
Ya.
He also says he does not have any plans to give up easily. He's still trying to achieve his goal.
Kalau gue untung beda email.
Dapat tuh kalau udah
Satu Gmail semua itu. Gua pakai Gmail sama semua.
nggak main lagi ya apapun lah.
Time to go.
Into the wind. One with nature.
Fall before me!
Lagi.
I'm ready!
Time to go. Fallen leaves. Adorn my night.
Into the wind.
Are you okay? It looked like you were really struggling the entire fight.
Yes. And it looks like he's reached his limit.
The sheen's grown a bit dimmer again. It doesn't look anywhere near as impressive as it did at the start.
Perhaps this time we'll finally have a chance to see his true form.
True form? form? What are you talking about? Huh? What the? Is this the same blade as before? It looks like a piece of junk!
If you choose to continue in the state you're in, you wouldn't even be able to beat Samurai and Kairagi, much less the almighty Shogun. Maybe you did truly wield power to rival the Shogun's light when first forged. But the long journey from Snezhnaya back to Inazuma has left you battered and broken. It barely needs stating anymore. Your ambition is a flight of fancy. I finally figured out what it was that you agreed to my bet. You wanted to reach a state of harmony with me. For perhaps then you would still be able to wield commendable power. But regrettably, we are nothing alike. I will never understand your obstinacy and cruelty, nor can I empathize with the one who made you. The only one who truly understood you had already passed away by the time you were born.
What's that supposed to mean?
Here they are! Take them down!
Where do they keep coming from? Yup, we can help this time!
Don't worry, I'll use my own blade. It's just more of the same. One with nature! Into the wind!
Time to go.
The wind knows it.
You fought way better with your own sword.
You are a true Kaedehara in flesh and in spirit. Though we fought briefly together, you have seen me for who I really am. No one knew anything of my story throughout my travels, nor did I tell it to anyone. You are the first person to know the truth. I thought that if I could achieve Ishin harmony with you, perhaps there would still be a ray of hope for me.
But in this too, you have failed.
Indeed. No matter how hard I tried, I could not attain that perfect harmony that your personal blade does with you. Too much time has passed. My physical state is poor, and without proper maintenance, I can only disguise my true appearance behind an outer sheen. Yours is the blade that took on the Muso no Hitotachi. And what a magnificent blade it is. Perhaps I shall never reach that level of glory.
Actually, this is just a generic blade that I picked up during my travels in Liyue.
What?
Forging and maintenance are both important for a blade, but they are not everything. This blade has traveled the land with me for many years, and we have formed a close bond during that time. Plus, in the moment that I most needed it, I received aid from another power. Skill, blade, determination, and desire. All these must be aligned in the practice of Ishin art. There is something else I must tell you. Though your maker may not have been aware, your ability to possess your own consciousness derived from the power of the Tatarigami. Tatarigami is a malevolence from the ancient past. It is the source of your mania and savagery. Though you tried to cooperate with me while I was wielding you, the part of you driven by Tatarigami was constantly trying to seize control of my body.
I sensed it, but I couldn't change it. It is an integral part of my consciousness.
I resisted its temptations because I wanted to save Amenoma Yuya. But I do not know whether you yourself have any intention of trying to fight it. I feel a great sense of regret for you. Since you embarked on a journey bound for a destination you were destined never to reach. The moment you embarked on this journey, you lost the only person who could have ever unleashed your true potential. And yet there was no way for you to turn your back on his ambition. You have known this for a long time. It is the true source of your despair.
He gave me everything. My life, my form, my consciousness, and purpose. How could I possibly deny him his wish? I said to him, "Do not worry, from here on I shall forge your legacy." How could I go back on my word?
I believe our bet is now settled. I have nothing further to say.
Where are you going, Kazuha?
He now has neither the ability nor the motivation to cause further harm. Let's give him some time to reflect on things.
Dua orang keting gak ada yang mati, dua orang
Buset.
When I touched the hilt for the first time, it's as if I was transported to a strange dimension. It was somewhere I've never been. A bladesmith lay quietly on the bed, his frail face barely visible under the moonlight. His breaths were weak, and his life near its end. A newly forged blade lay by his side, listening attentively to his final words.
Wow, that was the Blade's memory, wasn't it?
Indeed. While in exile in Snezhnaya, the bladesmith eventually learned the truth behind everything that had happened. The Ishin art had been dealt a devastating blow by the desertion of its best smiths. He spent the rest of his life in the forge, not to vent his frustration and hatred, but to atone for his actions. He felt intense regret at being tricked by the Fatui, but he could never again return to his homeland. His sole wish was to one day return his single, proudest creation back to the land of his birth. So he instructed this sentient blade to find a way back to Inazuma, no matter how long or how hard the journey. But he never wished to rival the gods. All he wanted to show was that they once shone brilliantly as blade and smith, that they were still worthy of being trusted.
So that's the true story. But after that, the blacksmith's intentions were worked by the Tatarigami, slowly turning his proud creation into the cursed blade of today.
Right. I believe the bladesmith might never have known that the power he worked with was that of the Tatarigami. The hatred within that power is what sent the blade down its ill-fated path. This blade has committed unforgivable atrocities, but only because it lost its original master. No one was there to correct its errors when it was losing its way.
Shame it's too late now.
Yes, it is too late. Time would not wait or stop because of his determination. While the world moved on, his ambition remained stubbornly stuck at that fleeting moment at the dawn of his journey. He seems to have calmed down, though. Let's go and check in.
When I look back at the past, I can remember the day of my forging like it was just yesterday. I once told him that I would pay any price to fulfill his wishes. Such was the debt I owed to him for giving me the gift of consciousness. But darkness and slaughter numbed the mind. Over time, I lost sight of the difference between gratitude and grudge. Not only did I fail to fulfill his ambition, I also defiled it.
You are finally seeing reality clearly.
Since we agreed to the terms of the bet, I will honor the
Gue jadi ada
agreement
bandel.
and release Amenoma Yuya.
Beliin gua ya.
Mau.
But I still cannot bring myself to forsake his ambition. It is the entire purpose for my existence.
Rena tahu.
So,
Ih, semoga telat kau
May I
lama
ask
nih.
you to help me fulfill the ambitions of myself and my creator?
144.
Hey! Now you're adding yours into the mix too?
Ada buah sih.
Jeez, don't push your luck, mister.
It has to be done in this order. At least hear what I have to say. And if you don't agree, I will still release Amenoma Yuya as promised.
Wah.
My physical form, as well as the knowledge I possess, should still be of some value to you.
His attitude has grown a lot milder. What do you think, Kazuha? Should we give him a chance?
Let's hear it.
Aduh.
Thank you all. When I was first forged, my maker was already terminally ill.
Aduh,
He
bolong tuh
told
temen
me
gue.
that he had wanted me to have the grandest opening battle. Alas, after that, he never rose from his sickbed again, nor have I ever had the chance to prove myself in battle since. My fights were devoid of any noble meaning. They were merely the next step in my never-ending journey, the next in a long line of transgressions. You are a fine warrior. I would like to request your hand in battle and experience a true duel between samurai.
Oh? And who would be the opponent?
Mereka
I will release Amenoma Yuya and restore his consciousness. Perhaps after that,
Gua baru
you
lihat
can convince him to commit to a fight with you.
Yang belakang repair
You
belum.
must have plenty of reasons to both hate me and desire a good fight.
Understood.
Onedap.
Then let's start by waking him up and seeing if he has the stamina and will to fight.
Timnya turun.
harus
gitu kan.
40 ber kalau tap kepala ber.
Kepala gua.
I see.
Kepala gua.
He used my body to inflict harm on
Tinggal lu
others.
doang yang main
I
tolong.
utterly despise him and his actions. But since he stayed true to your agreement by releasing me, he must still have some remaining semblance of honor. If a duel can help to set this state of affairs in order, I am willing to put myself forward. I do not wish to be a mere victim in this story.
There's no need to worry. We'll vouch for your innocence to the Tenryo Commission.
Thanks for your help. Who knows how this would have ended without your intervention?
All right, then let's move on. More Ronin could appear at any moment. We can't stay here. In any case, for a final duel, I think we should aim for a greater sense of ceremony.
What the fuck? 2 orang aja. Katanya kedor. Jetnya apaan sih? Nggak jelas banget. Ini spray, jongkok lagi.
Betul tinggal.
Jet sih, hati-hati. Masih ada sih harusnya sih. Di ambil tuh.
The cursed blade's wish.
Liatin capeknya aja lah.
Beropi tadi.
Backside. Geret tuh.
This reminds Paimon a bit of the Crux Crash.
Lu mati hal kok.
Yep, we still can't let our guard down. Even now,
Akhirnya menang.
Paimon has a sneaking suspicion that Blade hasn't told us everything. Still, even if he's way past the point of redemption, it's hard not to feel a teensy bit sorry for him. Are you ready?
Hah?
Ready?
Sama Gordon.
Okay.
Ya, gue mau.
All right then. Successor of Ishin art, Kaedehara Kazuha.
Successor of Amenoma art, Amenoma Yuya.
Honored to cross blades with you.
Udah di drop.
It is my honor also.
Into the wind.
Oh yeah, the state of the blade has changed.
Time to go.
Am I supposed to lose or am I supposed to win?
One with nature.
Di smoke sini. Iya situ.
The wind knows. One with nature. Time to go. Clouds high. The birds call.
Terus quick shot yang mirip kan, quick shot Bridap bisa Crimson terbaik.
Into the wind.
That's a lot of damage.
One with nature.
Beda warna gitu. Biru satu orang.
Yes, salty.
Fallen leaves adorn my night.
Gara-gara kena perbedaan genetik.
Thank you for the experience. Although he appears battered and broken, in your hands it seems he's regained a glimmer of brilliance. His sense of savage cruelty has completely faded away. But that same sense of determination remains strong.
You also fought well. I'm sure he relished the experience. There are a few things that I shall leave him to tell you himself.
I must apologize to you for all that has transpired.
You need not seek my forgiveness, nor do I have the right to forgive you on your victim's behalf. It is too late for all of that.
I do not wish for forgiveness. I only hope that you will see my transgressions as mine alone and not let them stain the legacy of Ishin art. I strayed far from the straight and narrow path, but the Ishin art still has a worthy successor in Kaedehara Kazuha. I beseech you, please understand this.
Yes, I too trust Mr. Kaedehara to do the right thing.
Thank you, successor of Amenoma art.
This blade has also told me that he has another wish. He would like to visit the Amenoma smithy. Maybe we can go back there together.
What does he want to go there for?
I'm not sure, but I think that all this is about to come to an end.
Ulat jet kita ya.
Wind strider.
Nice. Ada lagi satu.
4 balet 4 pala.
Nice.
Oh, it's Yuya! You have returned!
I am sorry to have troubled you. It's all thanks to them that I was able to return safely.
A prized Ishin blade. Turned weapon that controls the human mind. Considering their forging philosophy, this was indeed within the realm of possibility. This is a great pity. But I have some good news as well. Ryuji, from the Bantan Sango Detective Agency, tells me that they've found the missing Mr. Nagato.
Really? Is he okay?
Yes, badly wounded, but he will live. And now that Yuya is back, it seems like the final ending to this story is a happy one after all.
I think I know what you want to do.
What's wrong, Kazuha? Is the blade whispering in your ear again?
Yes. He said he wants to take control of me for a brief moment.
What? No way! Hasn't it learned its lesson?
He tells me that he's thought of another way to fulfill his maker's wish. And he assures me that he won't use my body for anything nefarious. I have decided to let him do it.
Guess there's nothing we can say to change your mind, huh?
Thank you. I will explain my reasons later. Okay. I am ready. Let us begin. Please, stay true to your promise.
strength's almost spent. Without him, my eventual demise is inevitable. But if I abandon the future to give everything I have in this moment, my physical form can be forged anew.
Everything? You mean...
Yes. The cost is my entire consciousness. You were right. There's nothing that I can accomplish now. But there's still a chance for Ishin art. Once remade, I will be a valuable resource for your studies. Ishin lives on, and its finest hour is yet to come. Even if I am not the one to prove its might to the Shogun, as long as it is an Ishin blade, crafted by Kaedehara hands, it will still fulfill his final wish. Thank you, son of the Kaedehara clan. Over the years, my real name has been forgotten by all. I'm ashamed to utter it, yet it remains strong in my mind. Kagotsurube Ishin. This name is now yours to keep.
Rest in peace.
One enemy remaining.
So, that's why he said it had to be done in that order. His consciousness will disappear forever after fulfilling the bladesmith's wish.
Kagotsurube Ishin. It was the first time I ever heard his name. It seems like deep down he disapproved of his own actions, and thus chose to bury this name deep within his heart. Only in the final moments, before his consciousness faded, was he willing to entrust it to another.
Seems like he really, really wanted to fulfill his maker's wish.
The same fervent ambition that gave him the motivation to keep going forward also fueled the stubborn determination that blinded him to the path ahead. Speaking for myself, I'd rather see him recognize and atone for his mistakes than see him punished for them. I understand. Perhaps this is a flaw in my personality. I've always been captivated by grand aspirations. Hearing his wish to rival the divine light touched something inside of me, just as the sight of those who fought to repeal the Vision Hunt decree did. Your quest to face the gods and trace your sibling inspires me in the same way. After everything I've seen, perhaps these pursuits fascinate me a little more than they should.
Oh, Kazuha.
I will continue to support you from this point on. Know that you will have my assistance whenever you need it.
1, 2, 3.
Wait! Shouldn't we also go update Kujo Kamaji?
Oh, you're right. We need to tell him about the findings of our investigation. And it's also time to give him a response to the offer he made me.
Does that mean I have to... Okay, I don't think...
One enemy remaining.
Ada houses.
Something else.
Gak suruh maju nih. Bukan boleh deh.
You've returned. I hear that the issue has been resolved. Though this was a treacherous investigation indeed, we're most fortunate that no lives were lost. The Tenryou Commission has already attended to the danger at the warehouse. The investigation into Amanome Yuya should conclude soon. I do not believe he will be charged with any crime.
Wow, you sure kept your ear to the ground.
Then we needn't recount all the details again. Now, as to your earlier offer, I wish to give you my answer. Please take a look at this blade.
What's this?
Kagotsurube Ishin, a weapon crafted using a long-lost blade forging art of the Kaedehara clan. By means of a series of fortuitous events, I was able to recover and restore him. I also promised him that I will continue to study and pass on the secrets of Ishin art. And so, it looks like I will likely continue with my journey across the nations, learning more about this blade as I go.
I see. I understand.
The Kaedehara clan has always been a family of bladesmiths, so it is only proper for me to continue on this path. Were I to accept your goodwill, I may find myself embroiled in conflicts between the shogunate and Sangonomiya. That would not suit me.
You misunderstand. That was most certainly not our intent.
I am aware, but I still desire to continue walking my own path.
Very well, I can understand. Then let's pretend this offer was never raised. However, if you should ever change your mind or find yourself in need of the shogunate's assistance, please do not hesitate to inform me.
Great. Thank you for your generosity.
Where will you travel to next, Kazuha?
I'll probably take to the seas with Captain Beto again for now. As for my next destination, let's see where the wind takes me.
Yes. That's a cool blade name. You know what? For the sake of his God, that weapon looks so cool though. Oh my god. For the sake of his signature weapon, I'm gonna use this.
D2 roket nggak sih?
Astaga.
I shouldn't use that.
Cuma ada satu ini.
I
Ada satu semua.
Oh, what the hell is this? Oh, the domain's open. Okay.
Tuh ada ya dari A ya.
Aduh. Mana di?
Defenders
Met banget, musuhnya met banget.
Wih, gila. Efek secret si paling unik.
Kalau di domain biasa gimana ya kelihatannya?
Met banget musuhnya, lagi ulti di klik gak ngechat alt.
Iya.
Costnya iya. Iya berarti harusnya bisa pakai kondens ini. Kalau nggak bisa udah pensi gua.
Beri musuh baik. Beri musuh baik anjir. Jangan ngechatin sekali.
Itu lihat statsnya lo, Pet.
Hah?
Statsnya gua. Tuh gua mau lihat.
Kalau
Ntar gua pakai biasa dulu deh.
Tarik, dia goblok. Dua, main ke tai. Ada Martial di push, tolong.
Nah, Kazuha gua klik ngepet tinggi banget.
Dia pakai Martial nge-push, siap-siapin dev, dia ngedes ke
Gua
kanan.
nge-build elemental mastery dan kawan-kawan. Jadi gua nggak pakai anemo damage bonus. Gua pakainya yang
Sholat dulu lah.
ya
Parah ya, parah ya.
parah.
Discord lo aja, Crit.
Gue energy recharge masih pengen gue naikin sih. Gimana aja tuh? Ini beda ya domainnya. Gue belum lihat musuhnya.
Korean yang penting tidak lagi.
Oh, never mind.
Dekat banget.
The wind knows me.
Everybody stand back!
Clouds high, the birds call. Into the wind.
Let's light it up! Rain outlines your fate.
One with nature. Fallen leaves adorn my night.
No, my sword! Let's light it up!
The wind knows me.
Teamwork is strength! Rain cutter! Lightning flash!
Oh my god.
Take this!
As one with wind and cloud. One with nature.
Rain outlines your fate.
Saving energy.
Off we go!
Lagi dia.
Time to go. Time to go. Clouds high, the birds call. Into the wind.
I'm going in! Lightning flash! Let's light it up! Off we go!
Wind strike.
Rain outlines your...
Fallen leaves adorn my night.
Let's light it up!
Time to go. The wind knows me.
Everybody stand back! Witness the power of the wild! Bellowing thunder!
As one with wind and cloud.
Take this!
This is one super classy way of playing a game. Masih bisa elektro.
Wind strike.
Kapan diamond bet?
Depan.
Anjay, yang paling diamond ya. Berarti kalau misalnya lu ascendant, gue bisa diamond sih. Ascendant, Imo, gua Ascendant, Adian, anjay.
Berarti kalau bisa diamondnya jangan yang stuck di diamond 1 doang, diamond 2 atau diamond 3, terus rank up double rank.
Noise.
Kayak gitu gua.
No, I mean this character.
Ini dulu Le, apa gitu, Repli, SK, atau Deathmatch.
Pearl.
Untuk 40 you go.
Gila, berarti kalau misalnya udah gitu nanti part 5 minus berapa? Anjir, buat gede banget, buat 50% ya. Iya ya. Match. On up.
Base attack-nya masih gedean Iron Sting gua sih, cuman sama-sama attack person. When normal charge or plunging attack hits an opponent, deal AoE damage equal to 80% of attack and increasing attack by 15% for 8 seconds. This effect can be triggered once every 8 seconds. Interesting.
Respon di situ lagi.
Ya tapi ini signature weaponnya Kazuha nih.
Gratis speed dapetnya.
Iya dari story questnya dia. Story questnya seru kan? I like his story quest.
Gua update follow dulu lah.
Oke.
Update aja kalau. Ada Le.
Tai. Oh tai lu ini musuh-musuh ini gini nggak jelas ini.
Jongkok loh gue sih. Placement-nya di pala mulu.
Damn.
Apa sih pinik jongkok lo bet?
Gila ngedoknya niat banget Yoru.
Ntar bisa sekali lagi nih gua.
Ketemu Yoru.
25 ada 25 resin.
Ngedok dan sholat lah. Cobain aja. Jongkok.
Liv. Lu lagi ini ya, lu lagi update Valo ya? Oh di Panu enggak di faset baru nyadar gua. No need Geo or Cryo. We have freaking animal.
Falling leaves, adorn my night! Into the wind!
Teamwork is dreamwork!
Time to go! That hurt! One with nature!
Let me lead you a good lightning slash!
Start sama Ali.
The wind knows me.
Rain outlines your fate. Let's light it up!
As one with wind and cloud! Wind strike.
I'm going in!
Fallen leaves, adorn my night! Wind strider!
Gak dapet gua energi. Fun though. Oh my god.
Ya mampus mau nanda tanya ya? Hah? Mau nanda tanya ya?
Enggak ini
Mau nanda tanya ya?
enggak harus. Turns out it doesn't require resin, I guess.
Remaining. Dominating.
Le, di B le. Le B.
Follow the wind.
Oh crap. Oh ini. That's one of these, huh?
One kill remaining.
Into the wind.
Let's light it up! Take this!
Clouds high. The birds come.
Wind strike! Lightning flash! Let's light it up!
Fallen leaves, adorn my night!
Ya udah makan ini. Katanya makan.
Oh, we still need more.
Okay.
Di situ.
Lu makan di real kan, bukan di keren lah.
Lu makan yang lagi-lagi gitu, karena biasa tiba-tiba gitu.
Iya cok.
Nonton YouTube gitu.
Tinggal
Di
buka
HP,
Chrome ya.
di HP. Kalau nggak buka,
Tinggal buka Chrome ribet banget anjir.
Temen gue apa ya?
Riko datang. Oh, berisik banget. Lurus.
Brings a smile to my face.
Time to go.
Tangan kalau langsung dulu tak susah.
Apa dap?
Maksudnya sambil pakai tangan ya.
The wind knows me.
Udah nonton.
Time to go.
Tracking cok sama laba-laba ya, what the heck?
Jadi lokonya langsung.
Aneh tadi. Klik amber. Masih bisa flick, masih bisa one tap, nge-freeze tapi. Gua manjatnya temenan.
One with nature. Wind strider.
Aja deathmatch lu banyak yang spektarnya.
No, my sword!
Bukan ya? Dari mana sih? Ini guys.
Time to act.
Spekter siapa anjir? Kenal.
Body and mind. Time to act.
Keding tuh
Body and
raja,
mind.
raja keding itu di ini. Ah, dia yang mati.
Belum masih ada.
Mati itu raja keding.
Into the wind.
Lightning flash! Rain outlines your face. Let's light it up!
Wind strider.
Wind strider.
Take this.
Itu ada le. Balas le itu chamber dari tadi kena running kan gue. Pokoknya yang wajib kita running kan.
Nah, itu dong.
Kan jarang banget nge-kill kita.
I'll keep this
Kill
close.
Dia. Keren sih le.
Wind strider.
Everybody stand! No, my sword! Thunderclap! Lightning flash!
As one with wind and cloud. One with nature.
Let's light it up! Take this!
Wind strider.
Lightning flash!
Clouds high. The birds call. Wind strider.
Take this! Let's light it up! Lightning flash! I am outplayed.
Dia lagi.
Ini kah?
Oh, 130 euro.
Nasi, aduh. Pusing kok. Tulisannya di bawah, tapi di bawah mana? Ada lagi kan bawahnya.
Bing doang pilih.
The wind knows me.
Apa gue rangain kan dia di heaven.
Di sini jangan buntu di sini.
Timing.
Ini ada gue lo. Ya, ya. Ya, gue dapet ini.
One with nature.
No, one tap lagi.
Di sini dia kan.
Udah mati deh.
Oh, bentar. Kalau dipikir-pikir. Sakit juga tapi ya. Nggak sakit.
Udah penting.
A fateful offering.
Gaspar, Ranek.
The wind knows.
Go in!
As one with wind and cloud.
Take this!
Wind strike.
Lightning flash!
Dikit lagi aku. Biar aku suaranya dari top.
Take this!
Dia diginiin.
Everybody stand up!
Clouds high. The birds call. One with nature.
Lightning flash!
Wait, last. Help, bisa naik gua.
Sobat Tintin.
Wind strike.
Take this! Let's light it up!
Raja suaranya jadi potong. Kena semua langsung.
Gila, apa sih jadi one-tap?
Mereka ngamuk, liat rehat banget Win.
Aduh. Gue nge-pick di one-tap, set.
Raja
Time to go.
udah tilted banget. Gue ranein kan dia sejauh apa kena semua nih.
Lightning flash!
Adventures. Wind strike. Never
No, fuck.
again.
Let's light it up! I'm going in!
Dulu Diamond 2 bro.
Lightning flash! Take this!
Into the wind. Time to go.
Iya. Login.
Who says there aren't benefits to a life of
Login
wonder?
gak sih? Ini lagi login. Lagi login atau login? Login. Nah, ya dah. Minato gak sih?
Admin satu siapa dong?
Apa ya? Wah,
Admin satu halo. Leo harus plus 29, lu harus minimal ke 50 ya, Le.
Oke.
Terlebih jauh dari Angel dengan invite Angel. Ini sih Revin ini maling. Jangan pasti.
Everybody stand back! Thunderclap!
Fallen leaves. Adorn my night.
Take this! Lightning slash.
Ah, agak miss.
One with nature.
Gila berjagoan.
Di atas.
Decline dulu, jauh bang.
Air ini teh, what the heck?
Take this.
Aku pakai OP ya.
Wind strike.
Ini vector aja deh.
Kenapa bentar dulu juga?
Time to go.
Kaki 15 meter one tap.
Lightning slash. No, my sword.
Wind strider.
Bukan sabar ya.
Akhirnya naik juga dia.
The wind knows.
Kepalaan itu kena semua ini.
Masih nggak cukup.
Kalau
Iya.
Woi, what the fuck?
Crafted.
My god. Oh no.
Aku lihat dulu.
What the hell?
Wah. Terincar 2 orang.
Oh. Oh my god. I'm scared.
Keding tuh diranengkan dari jauh. Dapat lu. Keding lagi. Keding lagi.
Ah,
kena.
Loh, itu gua nge-spam lagi nge-spam temboknya loh. Yang kena dapat.
Dapat pun tilted. Oh belum hedap mati lantai mah belum hedap.
Itu gua lagi nge-spam temboknya yang kena dapat bisa gitu. Nggak ngerti.
Udah kamu masih bisa lantai belum tilted dia.
Woi, nggak mati dia.
Oh dapet satu.
My god. Gua kira udah mati. Orang, my god. Masih, oh ini enggak.
Gila jago banget bang.
Itu kadar 70.
My god. What the hell?
What the fuck?
Woi, what the hell?
Aduh, 2 kandidat.
Dua kandidat.
Anjir apaan tuh?
Odin lawan Guardian. Odin lawan Guardian. Odin lawan Guardian.
Oh my god. Odin lawan Sheriff.
Yes.
My god, ada orang yang di mana? Oh,
Itu kena semua gue. Odin lawan Guardian. Perbitray.
ini ada orang. Woi, buset.
Ya.
Ada orang keluar-keluar what the fuck? My god, this guy.
Kena
Butuh beberapa lagi.
Kena semua itu.
3 ya.
What the fuck? Takut anjing. Mau ngepick sini ntar. Buset, berdua.
Oh enggak, sendiri enggak. Oh itu sendiri ya lo ya.
Iya.
Off we go.
Harus berteman Rick.
Teamwork is dreamwork. Rain cutter. Rain outlines your wind strike.
Clouds high. The birds call.
Let's light it up. Lightning flash.
What the?
Into the wind.
Gue ngincar levelnya balik.
Get out of here!
One with nature.
Take this!
Tolong, tapak gua tek dalam.
Time to act.
Aduh. Ya, nggak kena dong.
Wah. Banyak pisan. Gila. What is this, man? What the fuck?
Anjir cowok langsung geter langsung geter kenapa?
Time to go.
Temen gue main Optimism.
A fateful offering.
Gua matinya sama siapa?
Gue mati.
The wind knows.
Let's light it up! No, my sword!
Oh, get the crystal final.
Into the wind.
Take this!
Time to go.
Kena 110 gila.
2 orang cowok.
Bisa gitu.
Plus. Ya elah, tutup. Oh. Ada gua kuncinya.
Ngapain coba kayak itu pakai kepingan.
Oh fuck.
Fallen leaves. Adorn my.
I'm going in! Bellowing thunder!
The wind knows.
Take this! Lightning flash! Rain outlines your face. Let's light it up!
Wind strike.
Dawa bingung.
Take this!
Into the wind.
Adventure time!
Ben Panther Strap.
It's a miracle!
Oh, Din Panther Strap bisa gitu. Apa?
Au.
Di spam gitu.
Gila, ade.
Ada yang gila lagi
Itu gue main Odin kayak Phantom ya.
Wah, jauh banget.
Jadi gawa. Kok di meetup gue pick Odin kayak gitu menang kan?
Off we go!
Saat itu.
Is this an answer from this world?
I saw the blue stuff.
Wind strider.
Aku bos bang.
Ada yang perang tuh.
Perang. Oh my god. Wow. My god.
Odin gue kayak Phantom.
Cukup kali ya.
Satu-satu bisa sih.
Satu lagi dah.
Satu juga bisa sih. Ayo mana ya?
Lagi gua bantuin itu.
Iya parah ya, lagi dibantu ya Rick. Dia malah nolak.
Time to
gitu
go.
lah, parah lah.
Gua ngomong serang ya.
Bantu itu.
Nggak nyerang Rito tadi. Shit, timing banget.
Oh, udah dar, tadi dia baru nyadar.
Agak, gue jarang kena aja.
Lah nggak kena, buset.
Oh, itu udah kena pala.
Follow the wind.
Anjay, jago bang. Anjay. Gila bang, jago banget bang.
Pemantulnya rada lucu gitu ya.
Rico CNT banget sih dari tadi. Double ding Odin sama gue.
Bisa gitu.
Makanya. Gue gak ngekop itu. Gue gak ngekop ya.
Odin Phantom.
Oh ini.
Atuh.
Ini gue juga rank up ini. Kalau Genshin
Thunderclap! Teamwork is dreamwork!
Clouds high. The birds call. The wind knows me.
Know my sword!
Iya. Siapa lagi?
Into the wind.
To take this! Adventure!
Wind strike.
Mainnya ke volunteer kadang-kadang.
Let's light it up!
Itu lagi drawing ya pakai ten 0,1 0,1. Sensi 1 lagi mager. Mager gerak.
Gerak sense 10.
Time to go.
Let us see what they have planned for us this time. Fight!
No.
Waduh, masih ada Odin tuh.
Wah, enggak.
Lap. Oh, kena itu badannya. Padahal udah gua ngarahinnya ke box loh, nggak jelas bisa.
Aktif unik jago banget.
Set, jago banget.
Wow. Au.
Wah, nge-freeze tadi.
Pakai tos ya, menggunung betul.
Habis peluru.
Habis peluru.
Senjata main gua Herip. Senjata pocket gua ini Odin, senjata pocket gua.
Habis peluru. Habis peluru ganti Odin.
Kata Odin.
Habis peluru.
Berarti jangan sampai habis peluru.
Ya.
Aduh. Au.
Wow.
Gue udah kayak Iron belum udah main ada.
Iya, sama gua aja lu spray lu bangsat.
Coba kita bandingin.
Wih, gila.
Kending dong. Nembus.
Oh my god, run and gun headshot. This game.
Ya.
Odin.
Oh, mulai lagi nih.
Udah habis seluruh dia Odin.
Kaget gua keluar.
Wow.
Deh, OP bang, jauh banget bang, OP bang.
The wind knows me.
Respawn nih gue nih.
Itu just dari situ deh.
Oh, udah.
Lah, ganggu.
Iya.
Pencet.
Brings a smile to my face.
No.
Itu kayaknya habis peluru tetap kau ada Odin.
Katanya baru respon itu udah Odin aja sih.
Habis peluru.
There are leaves around, and I know just the tune to accompany them, if you wish to hear it.
Dari tadi gue pakai tensi 1 nih, lagi mager. Tangan tuh kayak rasanya tuh kayak malas gerak.
Yalah.
Yo. Ya. Anjay nggak kayak apa OP-nya.
My god.
Kelas.
Dari cetek gila. Bisa gitu.
Apa habis peluru? Katanya belum habis peluru. Udah Odin. Oi, hai.
Yeah, I'm gonna end the stream.
One with nature. Time to go.
My god. What the fuck?
My god.
Bisa gitu.
Sebelum kita end.
Wallbang sekali.
Ini apa nih?
Terus ke wallbang lagi,
dulu,
ding
guys.
lagi.
Sebelum di end gini dulu.
Into the wind.
Ada di kanan.
Ya. Geser.
Gue tadi mau wallbang dapat, cuma dapat gue kira mantek gue.
Kita siapa tuh? Wah, Odin lo tuh. Oh my god.
Dapat enak sih gokil sih.
What the fuck? Kaget gue. Belum kelihatan gitu.
Follow the wind.
Muncul anjir, muncul.
What the fuck?
Nah, gini nih. Ini baru.
Bisa gitu. Ya.
Oh my god, Kazuha bisa terbang.
Satunya pakai Odin.
The wind knows it.
Gue serip gitu itu gue seripnya gue pegang 2 tangan.
Wah. Anyways, thank you to anyone that watched, I guess. Anyways.
Oh, you're not that bitch. No.